Force feedback settings for Le Mans Ultimate with the Moza R21 and possibly other wheels on the market. Let's go to settings and let's breach and explain what's going on here. So, force feedback settings. Set the game to what the highest setting in the game is possible before clipping. For me, it's 67%, give or take. It will still clip a tiny bit on Eau Rouge with some cars. But you can test this by driving Spa with the fastest cars in the game and see what clips. If you're driving only GT3, you might be able to run higher force feedback strength before there's any clipping. But 65 to 67 is normally quite good before clipping from R-Factor 2. It might depend on your wheel as well. And you can feel clipping in your wheel because you'll just get this like dull, smooth sensation with no detail. Also, you can see a red graphic in the corner for clipping, but you can feel it in your wheel if you've got a DD. Smoothing. We set the force feedback smoothing to 3. You can increase this, but it will deaden useful information from the simulator. You're probably better off setting this to 3 and then using smoothing in your force feedback wheel software if you want the most detailed force feedback possible. Though, see what you like, see what you don't like. You'll definitely find on 0 that you'll feel weird graininess and flat spotting will be very, very annoying indeed. So putting on like 3 or 4, some people like it up to 6, but like 3 on the game is pretty decent. That is the main bulk of the game's force feedback setting. Now, in terms of your wheelbase, some tricks and trips here. Now, we're using the Moza R21. This is something that you can do. I don't recommend it. This is a black art, and it depends how you set your wheel up in game. Normally, you want to set your wheel up to be 900 in your game to 900, or your game to 1080, wheel to 1080, game 1080, and whatever. Sometimes I set games up cheekily with higher amounts of rotation in the game and lower with the wheel, so it speeds up the steering. You don't necessarily have to do that in R-Factor 2 because you can actually set the steering rack speed in the simulator, so you don't need to do it this way. You could just change the steering rack speed, the wheel speed in the simulator. It's in the car setup options. In terms of the actual settings on this Moza wheel, we turn all filters off and have everything off. No damper, no friction, nothing, no interpolation. The crucial thing to get the force feedback feeling nice and smooth on a direct drive wheel like the Moza R21 and Moza wheels is using this EQ. This will filter off high frequency stuff and slightly lower frequency stuff and then even lower frequency stuff. 8 on here should do the trick, and that will make it feel nice and detailed, smooth, but not like an electric toothbrush. Keep in mind that forces like tyre slip and sustained load forces, they all happen at like 0 to 10 hertz or 0 to 5 hertz. They're low frequency stuff. Anything over here is more like curbing, track texture things, flat spotting and stuff will be like here. So turn those things down if you find them annoying. But that's about it really. Run the wheel on aggressive profile, and that's about as good as you can get the force feedback from your Moza steering wheel. Set the strength of the wheel for how strong you want it. With the R21 we have it at 30%. That's because I live stream and my arms will fall off otherwise. But yeah, you probably want this on for actual detail to get the most out of it. Probably something above 50 or 60 will probably get you maximum detail. But there you go. That is a quick force feedback guide for the Moza R21 with Le Mans Ultimate. Probably not the best settings, but they are settings that you can use, and well, I come in the top 10 in the top split in various series, so they obviously work good enough for me, so they might work for you. But do your own thing, guys. Fiddle around with stuff, have fun, try stuff out, try stuff that's stupid, try stuff that's not stupid, try guides, completely ignore guides. It's sim racing. You can do things for yourself, enjoy it. Just have fun. Can you imagine that? Actually, sim racing, you're not allowed to have fun, so forget that.